Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into Bluegrass Home and Garden TV. So we are having a ton of fun Pinterest fall projects, and I brought Stephanie Hubbard of Hubbard Mechanical on with us today because crafting is always more fun
together.
Yes,
absolutely.
Whether it's with your parents, kids, well, kids might be an exception if they're really little because they can get kind of chaotic. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So at the Dollar Tree, I found these adorable little pumpkin forms. I've never worked with these before. I know a lot of people use like the deco mesh type stuff, but I got on Pinterest and I was like, what can we do? And they had so many, a lot of them actually for sale, very few how-tos. So I've already done a little bit of work and we're gonna walk her through the steps because I learned that some things maybe needed a little tweaking. But the first thing you wanna do, and you can do this with burlap or any kind of fabric, burlap to me, lots of times has wrinkles in it. They actually recommended just using some fabric release, like wrinkle releaser.
Oh, cool.
But I found just with me pulling and manipulating enough, the wrinkles kind of work themselves out.
I like it.
What we're going to do, we are going to lay this underneath here and put that one on top. This is just going to give us our template of how far we want to cut out. Now, what I learned the hard way and wasted a lot of burlap is I didn't keep it in place some.
Gotcha.
So I would recommend not letting this shift and cutting a little bit further out. You can always trim away later, but we're just going to cut around a couple inches out all around, and then we're going to go back and we're going to show you how to secure it. So go a little bit wider than maybe you need to start out, or you can be like me and waste a lot of burlap in the process. And FYI, burlap kind of goes everywhere, so just be prepared.
I feel like it's like, you know, glitter. You find it
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Days later.
Be prepared. Stay tuned. We've got more coming your way right now. Richard Weber, Springhouse Gardens.
Hi, this is Richard Weber out here at Springhouse Gardens, and we're continuing our talk about gardening in the shade. And one of the things that I wanted to kind of show you is how we've combined different levels of shade plants here to give you this kind of interesting look no matter what angle you're at. So you see these different layers, and we've got ground cover layer, we've got this intermediate layer, and then the middle ground here with the oak leaf hydrangeas. So in previous discussions, we've talked about this beautiful ruby slippers, we've talked about this Japanese forest grass, but what is this low growing ground cover here? Some of you might recognize it. Has a big beautiful purple leaf. This is a plant that's been around a long time, but this is an improvement in a newer variety of what people call carpet bugle or ajuga. This is a variety of ajuga called Caitlin's Giant, mainly because the leaves are gigantic. And I was kind of skeptical when I planted this here because I've seen ajuga not do so well in different areas. It grows well and then it dies out. It grows out into your lawn and becomes kind of a weed in some cases. But this has been here now for about 4 years and it's done very, very well. And what I like about it is it provides a nice contrast to the fine blades of the gold, the all gold Japanese forest grass, and the purple tones kind of blend nicely with the reddish tones of the ruby slippers. And to accent it further, this year we've added a little bit of this dark night alternanthera, which is an annual flower, and that's growing around the other side of the planting. So you've got what are called color echoes, where you've got purples and pinks and reds and things like that that all go together, and then you provide a pop with something very bold with the gold color of the Japanese forest grass. So we've completed this little vignette with a begonia that is another annual that has kind of a dark purple leaf. And that one is one that's called Surefire Rose. And it's got that big bronzy leaf. So again, it kind of is reminiscent of what we have at the front of this garden bed. And we've accented with a coral bell that has the golden tones. So again, this whole thing, when you look at it, completes a picture with multiple layers, with lots of seasonal interest. And this is what successful shade gardening can look like. So if you have more questions, you can come down here and see this at the cottage here on the grounds of Springhouse Gardens, or give us a call at 859-224-1417 and ask us about any of these plants and if we have them in stock.
Here at Hubbard Mechanical, when we say we only charge you for the services you need, we mean it. We've got the invoices to prove it. This customer was told that the repair was going to be $1,200 by a flat rate book. We were going to save them hundreds of dollars, but we ended up saving $900 because we found out that the parts were under warranty. This is just one example of how we save our customers money during their time of need. So next time you're in need, give us a call here at Hubbard Mechanical and see the difference yourself.
Welcome back. You know what? This is so much easier with someone who can actually help you. You should have seen me doing this. I was like, it keeps moving. And that's why I broke out some of the little Dollar Tree clips and stuff trying to hold things in place. So you're going to just use a low temp glue gun because otherwise you are going to burn your fingers a lot. A lot, yeah.
It doesn't heal fast either.
So, you know, we've got, that's probably about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches there. I'm going to go from like one side. Actually going to use these, clip it, let it dry completely, and then kind of work back and forth. But so it doesn't shift, because I found out that when I was trying to do it all over here, I was trying to get it really tight. Then I almost ran out on the other side because it had shifted so much. So, and I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of area there, fold that over.
Close it.
Yeah, these
Good deal.
Because we do want it to be tight enough to pull and keep all the wrinkles out of it, but not so tight that it's puckering or So we're going to switch to this side.
Perfect.
And I'm just going to kind of push that a little bit. Do a little bit more on this side. Fold it down.
Perfect.
And clip. And if you don't like dealing with this much excess at any one point in time, you can always trim it.
Yeah.
Right? Give yourself quite a bit of working room here. So we're going to let that, we'll continue to go around. This is really the hardest part, so to speak, and the most likely to cause injury at home if you're not using your glue gun accordingly.
That's right.
So we're going to let that dry. We'll keep going around.
Perfect.
And there, we have to do a little bit of finagling, so to speak, around the stem. But we'll take a break, be back here in just a few, and we'll keep going.
How are you all doing today? It is, well, we're taping this beautiful rainy day, and I'm telling you people, I want to crawl in bed. So I thought, why not feature a bedroom in my house and talk about interior design in bedrooms and not doing something that's typical. So what you see is a sofa. Normally, you would imagine that you just put a dresser or a chest in here. Well, this is a guest bedroom, and when we built the house and moved in, I didn't have furniture, so I really got to do what I wanted. And so I opted, instead of buying a dresser that really was going to sit here and fill the space. You know, a dresser for me is you put underwear in and clothes and stuff. Well, that's never going to get used for that. It's just not, and because it's for guests. And I thought, well, if I want to stay here, I want to have a place to sit and be comfortable, and it's a sofa for me. And so it really fills the space of what a dresser would do. So what I did is I was looking for a very narrow table, and I couldn't find one, so I have a local guy. Thank you, Tim. He made me this skinny little sofa table, the height that I wanted because of the sofa and the depth I wanted. And I really use this as an art ledge so that I can create a moment. And so what I did after I got this table made, and again, the right height, which is perfect, I found this beautiful lamp that gives me a little light at nighttime. And the thing that might stand out to you that's a little odd is the artwork. And so I want to talk about that when we come back, and how you mix traditional artwork with modern artwork and mix everything together and see what you think about that. Let's come back the next time.
Art Hubbard Mechanical here, just giving you guys some more pro tips on some of the stuff that we've been getting some phone calls from the customers and stuff, just kind of maybe help everyone else out. One we've been getting a lot is high water bills. Typically this time of year we're more dry than we are right now, so it's a lot easier to tell if you got an underground leak. And one of the easiest ways to tell that is if the ground's a little drier than normal, from where your meter is to where it comes into your house. If you see one spot that's really green and everything else isn't, that's a good indication you got an underground leak. Another good spot that we can go with is toilets. That's something that is so overlooked, and the easiest thing to do is go get some food coloring from the food aisle over at the local grocery store and put 5-6 drops inside the back of the toilet. let it sit overnight, and if you wake up in the morning and the bowl is now discolored, you know your flapper's leaking. And flappers are one of the highest culprits for excessive water bills that we've run into. Now there's always other stuff that goes on with that, but it's just something that you can always look for real simple tricks before you call us in here. But a lot of times if you've done all your homework and you still can't do it, you can always give us a call at the office at 859-340-4509.
Hi, I'm Richard Weber from Springhouse Gardens. Did you know that getting your hands dirty is sometimes a good thing? Digging in the dirt has been proven to reduce stress and provide a sense of happiness and contentment. Come find your happy at Springhouse Gardens.
Comfort Master came in and helped me do an assessment because it's a geothermal unit. The value that they give us is really important, and you know, if that's $1 or $2 higher, I'm okay with that because I know the guys are safe, I know they're well educated. Just had a great experience with Comfort Master.
All right, thanks for keeping it here. I have passed the torch.
It's over here.
AKA the hot glue gun.
Yeah. Watch
I
me
was
burn
telling
myself.
Stephanie, I actually, even though this one we're not gluing to right now, I like keeping it there because it kind of helps keep
yeah.
everything from shifting and going all over the place. So, but you can see even here it's starting to get a little tight because
It is.
if it just shifts a little bit each time, it can become kind of cumbersome. So,
Yeah.
But I also say, don't worry so much about the stem. If you get to the stem and you're just having a hard time, you can always just take twine and wrap around it and give
Yeah.
it more of a realistic looking, stem.
Absolutely.
So we'll keep doing that. Now, some people actually don't even use this one on the exterior in some of the other pins I saw. Or I got really ahead of myself. Obviously, I'm not able to do it today, but I ordered all these beads. Woo, there went my hot glue gun. They would take some, pliers like this, trim, pop off, add on these, and make that like, the little, not spokes, but the little veiny looking things
Yeah.
in a pumpkin and stuff. It was really, really cool.
That
so
would
there
be
was
cute.
so many pins like this. Okay,
All right.
let's flip it over.
Yep.
And we can always go back and keep kind of like tweaking it. Yeah, so need to kind of pull it a little bit more here, but not really worried about that right now. We'll work through that because then we are going to actually attach this one to this one to have it keep that pumpkin look, especially where we're not going with traditional pumpkin colors.
Perfect.
They used hot glue. I tried to use hot glue.
Ouch, it hurts.
Well,
You
it
burn.
just didn't stay, and I
That
even had
too.
it clamped down, so I took craft wire on
Oh.
this one
Okay.
and almost sewed it together, the front and back, in some strategic places. You can see
Yeah.
I just took it through here, a couple different places, because the last thing I want to do is take all this time and effort
Yeah.
and then the top pop off from the other part.
It's all that
That's
work.
not
Yeah.
any fun. So, yeah, and as you can see, if you have it up against light, you can see the extra burlap where we've glued it. But if you have this against a dark door,
Yeah.
you're not going to
You're never
be able
gonna
to see it. It's
No.
only when the light's really kind of coming through. You can actually see where I tried to glue it and it just did not work.
Didn't work.
All right, we'll be back here in just a few. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Richard Weber, still out here on the grounds of Springhouse Gardens. We're talking about shade gardening. On these hot summer days, it's nice to have a place to escape to that's under the shade of trees, but still has a little bit of color and interest. Shade gardening can be kind of difficult because there's lots of degrees of difficulty because you've got tree roots usually, you've got drier soil because when it does rain, water's not reaching the ground. So there are a lot of plants that just don't do very well in these kinds of conditions. One of the most popular shade plant that most people have grown up with are called hostas. And this is just a different variety of hosta. We have several of them here and down in this area. Hostas are very tough, very durable, can do very, very well in shaded areas, but they do like a lot of moisture. So if you want to plant hostas, be ready to water. And they do have several pests that you need to know about. The biggest pests are snails and slugs, and they will come in and they will tear up your plants pretty readily. So make sure you're planting good varieties that have thick leaves. So you want to look for ones that have that thicker texture, that corrugated texture, and that's going to really help deter a lot of the slugs. But there are other plants besides hostas that you can grow. One of them is this lungwort. This is a very interesting plant with a very kind of fuzzy, kind of hairy leaf that's called pulmonaria or lungwort. They do very, very well in the shade, have very beautiful early spring flowers. But in this very shady area, we've also decided to add some annual plantings as well. This one here that some people call elephant ears, this is actually it's actually more typically called caladium, and there's lots of different varieties of caladium. This is something that has to be planted every year. You can dig those bulbs up in the fall and hold them and replant them in the spring, but they're not going to make it through the winter. So most caladiums typically like the shade, but there's newer ones on the market that can take full sun. So just make sure that you're choosing ones for sun or shade, but the shade ones are very, very easy to grow. And we've also added in a little bit of variegated ivy. This is a nice variety from Proven Winners called Glacier. And it's a variegated ivy that typically is planted in pots and planters, but I'm actually planting it in the ground. And during mild winters, it's going to grow and brighten up this shady spot. So you don't have to be bored by your plants in the shade. So think about things like hostas and annuals and some of these other perennials that you can mix together and have fun while you're staying cool here in the shade. If you have more questions, look us up on the web at springhousegardens.com or come out and visit us at 185 West Catnip Hill Road in Nicholasville.
New in 2021, the name that defines the very best, Jimmy Nash Homes, brings you new communities, new floor plans, and styles featuring Andersen Windows and Doors, the most trusted name in windows and doors. See it all at jimmynashhomes.com.
Did you know that most gardeners are optimists? 9 out of 10 gardeners would tell you that their watering can is half full. Why else would a gardener plant a tree that they may never get to sit under? Come improve your outlook at Springhouse Gardens.
All right, it is craft wire time. Not hot glue.
No,
we
we're
love
done
some
with that.
hot glue, but
We're done.
I learned the hard way on this one. So I was telling her I like to secure it right here, and then down at the bottom, and the corners, and then just anywhere else, because sometimes it felt like it kept trying to pop
out.
up.
Yeah.
So yeah, just making sure it gets secured really, really well. And if you still feel like it needs to be a little bit tighter later, you could always go back and do a little bit of craft wire actually in the spokes and kind of like force it to push it down a little bit. And if you don't like the green, I don't know if I mentioned this, you can always spray paint these any color. So black, if you're wanting to do more of a Halloween looking one, there were a lot of pins like that, or white or orange, whatever. You can really make it work. So we're just going to do this. We come back and then it's the fun part. We get to add flowers and bows and all that good fun stuff. So I'll let her keep working on that. We'll be back in here in just a few minutes. All right.
Art Hubbard Mechanical here, just giving you guys some more pro tips on some of the stuff that we've been getting some phone calls from the customers and stuff, just kind of maybe help everyone else out. One we've been getting a lot is high water bills. Typically this time of year we're more dry than we are right now, so it's a lot easier to tell if you got an underground leak. And one of the easiest ways to tell that is if the ground's a little drier than normal, from where your meter is to where it comes into your house. If you see one spot that's really green and everything else isn't, that's a good indication you got an underground leak. Another good spot that we can go with is toilets. That's something that is so overlooked, and the easiest thing to do is go get some food coloring from the food aisle over at the local grocery store and put 5-6 drops inside the back of the toilet, let it sit overnight, and if you wake up in the morning and the bowl is now discolored, your flapper's leaking. And flappers are one of the highest culprits for excessive water bills that we've run into. Now there's always other stuff that goes on with that, but it's just something that you can always look for real simple tricks before you call us in here. But a lot of times if you've done all your homework and you still can't do it, you can always give us a call at the office at 859-340-4509.
New in 2021, the name that defines the very best, Jimmy Nash Homes, brings you new communities, new floor plans, and styles featuring Andersen Windows and Doors, the most trusted name in windows and doors. See it all at jimmynashhomes.com.
Comfort Master came in and helped me do an assessment because it's a geothermal unit. The value that they give us is really important, and you know, if that's $1 or $2 higher, I'm okay with that because I know the guys are safe, I know they're well educated. Just had a great experience with Comfort Master.
When your day calls for, but the weather calls for, we call for.
You're getting a 20-minute heads up.
A WKYT First Alert Weather Day. Your first alert to when weather needs to be on your mind first. On air, online, on your phone. So you always know first. First Alert Weather Days. Only from WKYT First Alert Weather.
Now's the fun part. We're back. All right, Stephanie. I saw pins where actually the how-to one had it more like a spray down here, like it was the base.
Okay. Yeah.
And then a lot of them had it up here. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I think I'm going to do a little bit of both.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to make this a multi-season one. And I'm going to put a bat on for Halloween. And then I'm going to take that bat off. I'm going to put a pumpkin on for, you know, like early, right before Thanksgiving. And then for Thanksgiving, I'm going to put a turkey on it.
Cute.
And it's going to be like 3 wreaths in one.
So
yeah.
the fact that you mentioned that, I'm going to just hop over here. Let me see if I can find it. I was working on something. So you know they always have those little cutouts?
Yes.
Okay, so
That's cool.
cute way because of all the colors you've got going
Yeah.
here. I took some Dollar Tree napkins. You could use any napkins you have. I actually bought some solid ones too.
Nice.
Decoupage, you can see this is a work in progress. So if you wanted to add a little
Yeah.
pumpkin,
It'd be so cute up there.
or you could actually tie it on like it was a charm, so to speak.
Yeah.
But they end up having these for like every season.
Every
so,
season.
And I was
Yeah.
trying not to just paint them.
Yeah.
So
And you know, there's so many cool prints you could put on that.
Yeah.
And it makes it just a little bit different. Decoupage is fun too.
yes,
It's just fun.
I tried to
I like
I
it.
tried the pin though where they showed a pumpkin where just like take a pumpkin you don't like anymore. You could spray paint any color. I had a pumpkin. I just didn't really care for the color of it.
Yeah.
And I tried to do this pin where you're decoupaging leaves on it. You have to remove these veins to make them more flexible.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they just kept shifting all over the place. That's where a hot glue gun is a necessity. And I
Yes.
don't know if it was the pumpkin I used, but I was just like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't
this
do
is-
it.
this is it.
This one's a mess. We're not even like over there. All right, we're gonna work on all this. We'll come back
Absolutely.
and then we'll do our favorite part, the bow.
The bow.
Sense my sarcasm.
So bad. Don't do bows.
We are kindred spirits in that.
Yeah. Just
All
as
right,
what we are.
stay tuned.
So I told you before, we're taping today in my guest bedroom upstairs, and I, instead of opting to put a dresser in the bedroom, I created a sitting area so that when guests come, they can sit here and put their shoes on, read a book, be comfortable. And I had a sofa table made, and I had a very narrow sofa table made because I'm using it for art. And so my definition of art can be a little different than most. So I found this really cool easel. So let me kind of poke him in there. And my sweet little Chloe, break my little heart, she went to college this year, but this was when she's about 3 years old, and I had this blown up years ago. And this is a definition of art and family, and I love that. That takes me to a moment. So I'm going to walk over to the other side and tell you other stories about what art means to me and how to mix it together. So, what in the world is this little picture about? Well, this was when I was 17 years old, and I went to Monticello, and I feel like that was kind of a life-changing moment because that's when I fell in love with architecture and design and Thomas Jefferson. And so these were little postcards I found a few years ago, and actually took them and had them framed. And so every time I see this and come in this room, I think of that moment and kind of a little inspiration. So the basic on that is what I want to get you is art is things that create memories and evoke emotion and tell stories. So when people see this setting here, they might not know, but they'll know Chloe, but they'll ask the story, and it gives me a reason and opportunity to do this. So the final is crazy modern piece of art mixed in with very traditional pieces. And that's just called how I roll, because I like me some modern. My lovely wife will look at that and she'll go, well, what is it? And I'll go, well, what do you want it to be? But she goes with it, bless her heart. And so I love modern. So it really is buy art, find art, have art that speaks to you and tells a story. We'll see you the next time. housebyjsd.com. Thank you.
Okay, we are almost out of time. I am totally digging the way you did yours.
Thank you. Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
you know, a little up here, a little down there.
Yeah, but now see, like there's a little bit of a gap here, so if you wanted to go back in and like tighten that up, you could always do that a little bit more later. But,
Perfect.
I mean, to me, honestly, it doesn't matter. Or you could just
Yeah.
like, kind of like push it a little bit more.
Push it out.
But yeah, and then I've done mine like this.
I like it.
Kind of
So
hid my
cute.
stem a little bit. But you know what? If you did,
Yeah.
go find a stick in the backyard and put that up there.
Absolutely.
Make it a little bit more pronounced. And I don't know if I'm going to put a bow.
No, let's not put a bow.
Okay.
Let's veto the bow. No
Yeah.
bows.
What I'm thinking is if I flip this over,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to be strategic because I've wired it together
Yeah.
here. I might actually take just this thin, run it up through here, and then
Absolutely.
do a bow at
Hanger.
the top where I do the hanger.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then you don't really have to put the bow. You
Yeah.
don't have to make the bow.
But I'm thinking that's pretty daggone cute. if
I
I'm
love it.
myself.
I do.
Now again,
So cute.
if I had to do it over, I'd be interested to see if I had spray painted at least the top one orange.
Oh, that would be really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what kind of contrast
I bet it would be
would
cute.
it make? Or if it had been white or gold.
Gold. And do like a glitter gold.
Oh yeah.
That would have been really,
I found some glitter spray paint.
yeah, that would have
Yeah.
been cool. That would have been really nice.
So, but ultimately,
Absolutely.
guys, I think this is a win if you
Definitely.
can find the forms.
Yes.
So
Get them early.
Go early, go often, and they have them for just about every season. I've seen footballs.
Okay.
I've seen crosses.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything for Christmas yet, but
Yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even come out with a turkey.
You know, they might.
Because I've literally seen for everything.
I'd have to do one for Thanksgiving. That'd be cute.
Even though you won't put a turkey on that.
Even though I'm gonna put a turkey on it,
I
I still would do
actually
it.
I really like that white
Yeah.
gold
I
glitter.
do like
rollout.
that too.
And all the rich colors, it really,
Brings it right out.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
All right, this Pinterest pin is a win.
Definitely.
Just gotta go find the supplies. But if you can't find them, there are a lot of other similar ideas out there using Dollar Tree items. The splash guards, you can spray paint those and use them. Doesn't look quite the same, but even some of the pizza pans, I've seen them
Yeah,
use those.
definitely.
Or the little trays, the little silver trays, they use them, spray paint them.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of great ways out there to have
Lots.
fun. So thank you so much, Stephanie,
You're
for
welcome.
joining us and having a little fun.
So fun
She's gonna join us
crafting.
next time too because
Yay.
we're using a pizza pan.
Yes.
So we'll see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in to Bluegrass Home Garden TV.